Guys, guess what's going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow is another big event that has to do with this and is very, very important for the world economy and the markets. It will have a big effect. As you may have heard, this week has been very eventful because of many outside causes. For example, there are rumors going around that QT will end soon, right? That's why I still don't think we've reached the top either if or when that happens, okay? Because the last time they stopped QT and started printing, the Fed printed a crazy amount, right? That's why cryptocurrencies went through the roof. We've seen every season, all different kinds of seasons, okay? Still, I don't think the market has reached its peak until things get out of hand, which will probably happen in 2026. Then the FOMC will lower interest rates tomorrow, Wednesday, right? They made up their minds about what to do. There is a 99.9% chance that the Fed will cut rates by 25 basis points in the next 16 hours, okay? Some have said that the Fed won't cut rates. They're going to hold them steady. It would be a real black swan event if that turns out to be true, since everyone thinks they're going to cut, including me, right? They have to do it. When the market thinks something, like when this number is above 80, the Fed does what the market thinks. Also, they're still behind the times because I think a black swan is coming, okay? That will probably lead to a decline because it will bring everything down. Then soon the Fed will print $1 trillion. There may also be a trade deal between the US and China that will be good, right? The only thing that has caused prices to drop recently is this story about the trade war between the US and China. Then the S&P 500 reports its earnings on Friday, right? Guys, that has to come in good too. What do you think? Some people are saying that this might be the start of something big, okay? Something very big. Now we're in the most important week of Q4. Rates, liquidity, profits, and global trade will all become clear to the markets in just a few days. For the rest of the year, 4 things will affect how money moves. On Wednesday, the Fed meets. It is already priced in for rates to drop by 25 basis points. Now, what Powell says next is important. Is this just a one-time change, or is it the start of a longer cycle of easing? It's possible that the end of quantitative tightening will be the bigger change. If it's true, it means the Fed stops taking money out of the economy, right? It doesn't take money out of the markets, which is a big plus for risky products. Guys, now they'll put in cash, right? They are going to print a lot. Now you see why no one could be bearish, right? Our peak won't come until the UCT. The bottom side of the dominance chart is where all the liquidity is, right? Take a look at this. Right now, XRP is very strong against Bitcoin, but guys, take a look at this. Take a look. We won't reach the top of the UCT dominance chart until it takes all of this cash, right? You guys get it, right? Just by 2 cents, the cycle's peak hasn't even happened yet. Now we're beginning to see the stories that back up that idea, right? In other words, the start of every bull market is that one time when policy quietly changes from restraint to support. That time could be now, right? It could happen tomorrow, right after Powell's press conference where he makes the choice. Tone is very important. There are going to be a lot of cuts, guys, if he admits that inflation is going down or that job market risks are rising, which they are right now. It could be a sign of trust from these companies to keep cutting, which I think they will do. When that happens, bond prices go down, the dollar weakens, and money starts flowing back into stocks and cryptocurrencies. Well, there will then be a storm of earnings a few days from now. Guys, this is a really big week. Every company has a report, including Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, Apple, and Amazon. These 5 stocks make up about 15% of the S&P 500 as a whole. The stock market and cryptocurrency markets will both rise after a better earnings report. Finally, there's the trade deal that might happen, guys. So this week is crazy. Get ready for both the best and worst. It starts everything tomorrow, right? The tiles will break at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. Chair Powell of the FOMC will host a live press session from the Federal Reserve. Okay, it's 2:30, that's it. Are you ready? There's no doubt that President Trump is still interested in Jerome Powell, who is in charge of the system. Trump just now said that he might name a new chair for the Federal Reserve by the end of the year to replace Jerome Powell. Trump still wants Jerome Powell to leave, right? He still wants Jerome Powell to leave. Okay, but I believe he has 2 main roles to play here. One of 2 things. He either still has to bring down the whole banking system, which is fine, or he's really here to help people, which is also fine. He might be the good guy, or Trump might want to give him the job. So he actually blows everything up into the stratosphere, and then it all falls apart. That might be a 2, right? That's why he really wants him to leave. And that means he takes over the Federal Reserve. Okay, but there's more to this story than meets the eye. So there are a lot of events that are bullish. It's not a sure thing though, right? If everything works out, if all the stars are in the right place, sure, this week. On the other hand, there are experts who are selling like crazy. There have been no buys or sells in any of the last 200 insider deals. Do you see this? From all of these other businesses, sell, 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 sell. Do you see this, guys? Yes? About $1 million worth, by the way. Okay, if not more. Guys, we already know what insider trade is. It's likely that one person who got the call shared the information with everyone else in the stock market, which is why everyone is selling. Also, Nancy Pelosi, be careful with insider trade. She gets rid of up to 250,000 Apple shares. Since June, this is her first move with inside information. Oh, she just sold 250,000 worth of Apple shares, right? Hold on a second. The earnings report for Apple is due out this Thursday, right? Take a look. She thinks it might turn out badly. That's interesting. LSE is trying to trick everyone because her deals and activities have been tracked down, so she doesn't care about 250,000. On the surface, she might be trying to get people to buy, but the news turns out to be good. Get ready for that. After that, we had Jim Cramer. NVIDIA, don't trade it, own it. Yes, he just told us to own NVIDIA. He thinks NVIDIA will do well. What does that mean? Yes, that's the whole stock market, right? That's the best stock over there. Some bad things might be coming for the stock market if he's optimistic about it right now. Get the kids together and pack your bags. We're going to the nuclear cave. Please help us all. Tomorrow, Powell is going to destroy the book business. It's over if you are on calls. It seems like some people are saying that tomorrow will be bearish. It could also be good for the bulls because a sell-off the day before FOMC is exactly what they want to see. Okay, let me explain. Since we've already thought about this, okay, let's check out the XRP charts. Guys, do you remember what we said before? Okay, I have these two charts lined up for a reason. That's what we said before, FOMC. If they do dump it before FOMC, they usually pump it after. If they were to pump it first, they would dump it afterward, okay? And they're dumping it right now. But I've seen something very interesting happen with XRP versus Bitcoin right now before tomorrow comes around. And the rest of the week, which is important, right? Because of that recent drop, XRP has been linked to Bitcoin a little, but Bitcoin is going down, right? It won't stop. XRP, on the other hand, see what it does. It broke apart. Take a look at that from this spot. Bitcoin is going down and XRP is going up. Why does that happen? Yes, because of this. Let's go this way. This image is the reason.